Hey guys, this is Jennifer, and this is the Jennifer Allwood Show, the podcast where you learn how to create a beautiful home and build a creative business. Grab a cup of coffee, find a cozy spot in the house, and let's chat. I'm excited you're here. Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. I'm super excited to talk to you today about a topic that I could literally go on and on and on about. I want to talk to you today about your Facebook page, and in particular, why maybe no one is talking back to you on your Facebook page. For those of you who feel like you're just hearing crickets, this podcast is for you. My goal is to kind of maybe help shine some light on some of the things that perhaps you're doing on your page that are preventing you from getting the engagement that you want. And then also, I want to give you some suggestions on how you can rectify that and make some changes on your page so that you will start seeing people respond to the content you're putting out there and actually give you some likes, comments, and shares back. Because literally at the end of the day, like none of us want to be just seeing silence on our page, right? It feels really vulnerable when you're writing Facebook posts and people are not responding and you're asking questions and you're seeing no answers and you're hoping for shares and you think maybe you just posted something that was super juicy and yet you're hearing crickets. And I know how painful that is. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to do my very best to help you to get some engagement on Facebook. Okay. So literally every month, I am coaching over 2,000 people on their small businesses. And we talk a lot, you guys, about social media and putting the social back in social media. And we talk about serving your audience. Okay. I talk about that all the time. It's one of my most passionate topics to talk about. But the common complaint that I hear is that even though you're putting out what you think is valuable content, and even though you feel like you're serving your audience, that Jennifer, nobody's saying anything back. Like I have, stinky engagement, like the algorithms changed and none of that honestly is to blame. Okay. And so real quick, let's define what engagement is. All right. So engagement is literally when people see one of your social media posts and they either like, comment, or share. Now I'm going to give you a really easy way of breaking this down so you can determine what your engagement is equal to, okay? Because on every single post that you're putting on Facebook, people can like it, comment on it, or they can share it. And here's how this all lays out, okay? If somebody likes one of your Facebook posts, it's similar to, now I want you to go with me here, okay? Go with me. But it's similar to them like giving you a handshake. Like, I got you. Yeah, I got it. I like it. Handshake, okay? Handshake. The next step up from that you're hoping to get in terms of engagement is you're hoping for a comment, okay? So the comment is going to be taking the handshake one step further. So it's going to be escalated up to like a hug, okay? This is how I lay it out in my coaching group. So if somebody's going to give you a comment, it's like a hug. It's like, yes, I want to share something back with you. I want to respond to what you just put on social media. It's similar to a hug. Now the share, you guys, the share is where it's at, all right? The share is how you build more followers without having to pay for a ton of ads and how you can quickly grow your Facebook page. So we want the shares, okay? And I liken the share literally to just a full on the lips kiss, all right? You have made it to first base if you get people to share your content. And so I know that that's a little risque way of explaining it, but it really helps people to understand how Facebook works. And I think if you understand how Facebook works, it's easier to determine and to get some sort of a strategy for increasing your engagement. Okay. So we're always going for the likes, the comments, and the shares. And we're hoping to get, all of those are good, but the shares is the very best way of engagement that you can get. The comment is right behind that. And of course, we'll take the likes as well. Okay. So the goal is always engagement. Now, why do you want engagement? This is, I think, a question that we need to make sure that we understand the answer to as well. All right. So here is why you want engagement on your page. And by the way, I looked at my numbers before I did this podcast for you today. And on a page with 300,000 Facebook followers, my engagement is almost at 1 million people this last week. Okay. So I feel like I can talk to you in the areas of both building the engagement and then helping you to determine, Why do you want it? Well, you want engagement so that you get those high numbers, those high talking about numbers, the high numbers on reach. And the reason that you want those is because when Facebook sees that your page is being talked about a lot, is reaching a lot of people, it will show your content to even more people. So remember when you guys, perhaps some of you had little ones, all right? And do you remember all the books? And back when I was raising my babies, there weren't, podcasts to listen to about getting kids to sleep at night. There was not Audible to listen to things, but I read some books before, we had our first child, and then tried to do refresher courses. But my goal was always, how do I make these babies sleep? Because when the babies sleep, like mama's happy, right? Okay. How many of you remember the saying, sleep promotes sleep? You guys remember that? And so the theory back when I was raising babies, 10 to 15 years ago was get your kids to sleep a lot and they'll sleep even more. It's kind of a similar theory or kind of a similar way of thinking on Facebook, you guys. Facebook is basically saying when you get people to engage on your post, we're just going to show it more. Like engagement promotes more engagement. Does that make sense? Just like sleep promoted more sleep, engagement promotes more engagement. So Facebook's algorithms are constantly looking for, are people already knowing, liking, and sharing? Okay. And so that's what they're trying to figure out. And if so, they're going to show your content to so many more people. Okay. So that's why you want really good engagement numbers. And trust me, as the new algorithm has rolled out, the engagement is even more important, you guys. And if you did not listen to my podcast about the new algorithm changes on Facebook, I want you, when you're done with this podcast, to make sure you go over and listen to episode 53, where I talk about the algorithm changes and how the sky is not falling and how you need to not freak out, but how you do need to make sure you are serving your audience in a way that makes sure that your engagement is high. Okay. So we want engagement so that Facebook's going to show even more of our content. So let's talk now about some of the reasons you may not be getting the engagement that you want. Some of the reasons you're perhaps seeing crickets or hearing crickets. Some of the reason you're putting a post up on Facebook and you're anticipating a great response and literally you're just getting a one-off, two-off, maybe comments back to you. Okay. So number one reason that this may be an issue for you is you might be posting what I call dead-end posts. Okay. So for instance, I have a woman in my inner circle coaching group, and I was telling them yesterday during the Super Bowl, listen, the Super Bowl is an incredible time for you guys to be posting on your social media. It's also an incredible time to be going live on Facebook. And the reason is because there is a whole segment of people in this country who are sitting in front of a television and they're watching with one eye and literally the other one, they're on social media. They're either perusing Pinterest or they're looking at Instagram stories or they're surfing through Facebook. And if those are your people, if that's your audience, like make sure you're giving them content during the Super Bowl. Okay. So I was giving them some ideas on types of content that they could be posting during the Super Bowl. And one precious woman commented and she said, "Thank you so much for these ideas, Jennifer. Normally I would just post, enjoy the Super Bowl today." And I thought about that and I thought, the problem with a post like enjoy the Super Bowl is it's a dead end post. There's no reason for anyone to like, comment, or share that because it didn't invoke any sort of emotion in someone. It's a dead end statement, enjoy the Super Bowl. And that's it. You're not asking for anybody to interact back with you. Does that make sense? So if you are posting dead end posts, you cannot be surprised when there's no engagement on them. So we'll talk here in a few minutes about how you can kind of reverse engineer that and what you should be posting. All right. So number one issue with engagement is you might be doing dead end posts. Number two, you might be just barfing up sales posts. I know that's graphic, but I find that when I phrase it in that way, people are able to wrap their head around exactly what I'm talking about. If all you're posting about is what you have for sale and how they can find you over on Instagram and a link going out of Facebook over to your blog. And oh, by the way, here's an affiliate link for some great leggings that I have for sale. And oh, also you can go here to read this. Like that's barfing up sales posts. That's just basically just opening up your mouth and letting, a sale fall out with there not being any relationship building at all along the way. And people get really tired of that. Also, if you are, let's say, a brick and mortar or a boutique, I have a lot of both of those in my coaching groups. There isn't perhaps the same opportunity for you to do a lot of posts outside of what it is that you're selling, but you still can, okay? You can still be doing fun memes and engagement types of things. And what would you put with this pair of shoes? So there are ways, there's workarounds. Okay, there's definitely workarounds. But if you're barfing up sales posts all day long, I don't want you to be shocked when nobody is talking back. All right? Another reason you may be getting no engagement, perhaps you're constantly sending them out of Facebook. Now listen, I know some of you you have amazing things that you've got going on over at Pinterest. But if you're putting a post on Facebook and you're asking them to leave the Facebook platform and to go look at one of your pins over on Pinterest, yes, that's precious. But the truth is, we're just lazy people. Okay. I'm including myself right in the bunch with the rest of you, right? So if you're going to ask me to leave Facebook, go find something of yours on Pinterest, take a little look-see at it, come back to Facebook, and then like, comment, or share, you're asking way too much of me. And you're asking way too much of your audience. Your audience is not going to do that because at our very nature, honestly, we're just lazy. And it takes a lot. It would have to be your diehard fan to leave Facebook, go read a blog post, come back to your Facebook page and comment. Does that make sense? So when you're sending people outside of Facebook, you cannot be surprised that the engagement on those posts is much lower. Now, constantly people will say to me, Jennifer, I sent people over to my YouTube video and Facebook didn't show that post to hardly anybody. No, that's not what happened. Here's what happened. You asked people to leave the Facebook platform, which number one, Facebook does not like. You asked them to watch a little video from you on YouTube. You're asking them to come back to the Facebook platform. But let's be honest, when they got over to YouTube, they might have got distracted because now suddenly they saw a really cool video about basketball shots that are being made from the half court line. They saw an interesting video from their favorite pastor. They saw my friend Levi playing the guitar. You know, they get over to another platform and squirrel. That's what happens. So what you're asking then is for them to come back to Facebook also and then write out a comment. And we don't have the ability to maintain focus for that long on social media. That's the honest to goodness truth. It's not that Facebook is not showing those posts to anybody. It's that Facebook goes, okay, this post is getting little engagement, so we're going to kind of keep it out of the feed. It's not a post that people are responding to, so therefore we're not going to continue showing it to a whole lot of people. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. All right. Another reason that you may not be getting the engagement that you want. Some of you quite possibly gained followers in the wrong way. All right. Let me expand on this. I was talking with my friend, Rachel Miller, the other day. She's in a mastermind that I'm in, and she used this incredibly wicked software system. And she basically pulled up big Facebook pages. She pulled up mine, and then she pulled up a couple other public figure pages who have pages about my size. And we looked at some of the engagement numbers, and I was shocked at what Rachel was showing me. And I was also so honored and so excited because the engagement on my page was through the roof compared to several other people with similar sized Facebook pages or even bigger who are also public figures. She was also showing me like the map of where all of the majority of my followers are coming from versus some other people and where their followers are coming from. And several of the people we were looking at had huge followings in other countries, in countries that I can't imagine would be their target audience, countries that English is not their first language, and these, public figures are not bilingual. And so what is obvious when you look at something like that is that the followers they're gaining, number one, are not targeted. And number two, perhaps were not gained in the correct way. Okay. So if you are doing like ads on Facebook and you are not being super targeted about who you are trying to get to like your page, then that could be one reason why you've gained followers that are not engaging. A second thing is that if you've done a ton of giveaways on your page, it's a tough one because you have filled your page with followers who I call coupon clippers, who are literally, they've only began to follow your page, not to interact at all with your content, but because they wanted to get something for free. All right. And so if you've gained followers in either of those two ways, you cannot be shocked when the engagement is really low, because the people that you have following you are not the right people for your page. All right. Another reason people may not be talking back to your posts is you may not have been relatable up till now on your Facebook page. All right. You're basically a stranger on their feed. Okay, let me give you a really good example. And this is my favorite example that I use all the time. So how many of you have been out shopping and you're in the mall, you're going about your business, you're headed over to Express to check out their jeans sale, you're going to Bath and Body Works and going to get the 3-wick candles that are on clearance, on sale for half off this week. I totally know. You got a coupon. You want to use it. I get it. So you're out at the mall, right? And you're just minding your own business, walking down the mall, and you see a complete stranger approaching you, and she's got a little clipboard and she's got her little pen and she's looking right at you. And instantly in your mind, okay, shoot. She has a little survey thing. She wants to ask me some questions. I don't know her. I'm busy. If I don't make eye contact with her, perhaps it'll go away, right? Like perhaps if I just don't make eye contact, like she'll go and she'll divert and she'll ask somebody else the questions instead, right? Do you know what I'm talking about? That's what it feels like on your Facebook page if you have never worked hard to build a relationship with the people who are following your page. So for some of you who are like, Jennifer, I ask engaging questions all the time. My question back to them is this, but are you a stranger to your followers on Facebook? Do they know at all who you are? Do they know at all what you stand for? Do they know at all about your personal life outside of your business? Do they know anything at all about your family, your beliefs, anything other than you barfing up sales posts? Because if they don't know anything else about you, if they don't have a visual on your face, if they've never heard your voice on a Facebook Live, if they've never seen you give a glimpse behind the curtain to your life, and you're asking them questions on your Facebook page, they are never going to answer because you're that strange lady in the mall with the clipboard approaching them, wanting to survey them, and they ain't having it. That's the bottom line. They ain't having it. Now, let me give you one more example, okay? Let's say I'm walking through that same mall and I'm still going to the Bath and Body Works sale and I'm getting my 3-wick candles, the lilac ones that are coming out for spring. I'm all excited, walking down the mall, and I see my neighbor Maureen. And my neighbor Maureen is walking towards me with the same clipboard, with the same pen, with the same look in her eyes. I know exactly what's about to happen. And I'm like, I might be busy, but it's Maureen. You know, I love Maureen. If that scenario happens, of course I'm going to stop. And Maureen's going to be like, girl, I just have a couple questions. I'm going to be like, go ahead. What's up? Shoot them at me. All right. The same thing happens on your Facebook page. So if on your Facebook page you have worked to know your followers and to know your audience, and your audience and you have some sort of a relationship, just like my neighbor and Maureen and I do, if you've actually put in any sort of effort into letting your audience know who you are and to really cultivating some deep relationship with people that you may only meet online. But if that is the scenario, when they see one of your questions come up in their Facebook feed, they're going to respond. They will engage. They will give you that like, comment, and share. And it's because they feel like they know you. All right. So don't be that stranger on their feed who's coming at them with questions and wondering why they're not answering. They don't know you. You've got to quit hiding behind your Facebook page. Okay, so those are a ton of reasons why people may not be engaging with your content. Now I want to give you some ways that you can implement things you can do immediately today, okay? Immediately to start getting the engagement to rise on your Facebook page. Are you ready? All right, number one, directly related to what we were just talking about with my neighbor Maureen, I want you to come out from hiding behind your Facebook page, all right? If your profile picture is a picture of something that you make, I want you to change it. If you are not a boutique and if you are not a brick and mortar, you need to have a profile picture or a cover photo that has you in it somewhere. People need to get used to seeing your face by way of photos. And they also need to get used to hearing your voice by way of video. And this brings me to my next point. You need to be doing Facebook Lives. You knew it was coming, right? Come on now. You knew it was coming. Listen, Facebook Lives are one of the best way to build engagement with your audience. They are one of the best way for your audience to get to know you. This is why I can be out in public, you guys, and people will say to me, oh my gosh, I feel like I know you. Well, it's because they've seen me show up on my page. And some of you need to quit worrying about the engagement until you show up on your page. And one of the ways you can show up, and Facebook has said, if you will show up in this way, I will bless your page. That's literally what Facebook has said practically. I might have just added the word bless, but I will bless your page by way of giving those live streams 6 to 7 times the amount of reach as I would any other post you've done. So when you do what Facebook wants you to do and you go live, you will get so much more engagement. I promise you. If you are stumped at going on live video, if you just can't figure out what the heck would I talk about, Jennifer, nobody's going to listen to me. What would I say? I'm going to feel dumb, etc. I want you to go get a free resource that I have for you right now. Okay. It's my list of 60 Facebook Live ideas that you could go live about even today. And what a lot of people do is they'll just print this list out. They'll put it on their desk. And on days when they're like, okay, Jennifer said I have to go live twice a week, they will literally look through the list and it will inspire them, with some topic that they can go live about. So I want you to go to themagicbrushinc.com/Facebook-live-ideas. It'll also be listed in my show notes, but that's an easy resource for you guys just to all of a sudden maybe trigger some ideas for you of what you could be posting about. Okay. Point number 3, make sure you're doing posts on your Facebook page that are not business related. Come on now. Nobody wants to hear about business all the time. Quit barfing up just sales posts and start actually working hard at building engagement by building relationship. If you could do some posts that are motivating, that are encouraging, that are humorous, that add a little light spot to someone's day, those posts are going to do so much better for you the majority of the time than everything that's business related. So make sure you're posting things that are not about your business. I want you to work really hard on point number 4 to create something that I call the Me Too factor. And I was literally using the words Me Too before that became a hashtag in just the news in recent weeks. But listen, this is what the Me Too factor is. This is when you're posting things about your life or about your business that are so relatable. They're so relatable that somebody on the other side of that iPhone or that PC reads your post and she can't help but think to herself, oh my gosh, girl, me too. Are you kidding me? Me too. And when she feels like saying me too, guess what she does? She likes, she comments, and she shares. Let me give you a great example. I love massages, you guys. Let me just tell you that massage is one of my guilty pleasures. I have been trying to do weekly massages in the last couple of months. It's a great way, it's so good for your body and it's really great for me mentally. So just in really making self-care a priority for me in 2018, I'm trying to get massages weekly instead of monthly. Okay, so when I go to get a massage, a lot of times I just look like a hot mess when I leave, you guys. I mean, hair is just, as a curly girl, it is wild. I look like I got into a wrestling match with a polar bear and lost. Okay, so my hair looks nutty. And many months ago, I just took a picture of me coming out of my massage looking whack, okay, just looking crazy, just looking like a hot mess. And I did a post on all the things that go through my mind when I'm getting a massage. Okay. These are crazy things. I bet you can relate to them. All right. So I think things like this, things like, okay, the room's so cold. Okay. Thank goodness that she's got the heated blanket on the table. She's rubbing my fingers. I wish she'd spend less time on my fingers and more time on my back. It's all about the back. Oh, finally she's on the back. Thank you, Jesus. She's on the back. I love it when she rubs my back. I'm starting to kind of fall asleep. Like, do you know how you think of all those things when you're in a massage? I really want to stay awake, but I can barely stay awake because it's just so good. And you're thinking about crazy things and you're hoping you're not making weird noises and snoring while you're laying there on the massage table. Am I right? Am I right? You're thinking, oh my goodness, I should have peed before I started the massage, but now we're 3/4 of the way through and I'll be darned if I'm going to ask her to stop for a potty break. I mean, come on. How many of you can relate to this? Yes? Yes, those last 5 minutes of the massage where you're thinking to yourself, please don't end. Please don't end. Please don't let this be the last 5 minutes. How can I fully enjoy this to every extent? I'm not going to think about anything else but the fact that for the next 5 minutes, it's just, maybe she'll go 6. Maybe there's 7 minutes left. This is the kind of thing that go through my head during a massage. All right. When I posted that on my Facebook page, almost every woman who read it was like, me too, girl. And they either commented, they shared it, or at the least they liked it, or they tagged one of their friends. All right. So that's a me too kind of post where people are like, girlfriend, yes, thank you for saying it. Me too. So if you can get used to doing posts that invoke that me too feeling in people, you will be shocked at how much your engagement is going to go completely through the roof. Okay. So quit hiding behind your page. Make sure you're going live on Facebook. Don't just be barfing up business posts all day long and somehow create that Me Too factor with some of your posts. When you do this on your Facebook page, I promise you're going to see your engagement rise. And at the end of the day, you guys, look, we're on Facebook. This is a marathon. We're not on Facebook sprinting, okay? We're in this for the long haul. We want to build engagement with the right audience and in the right way. And so if you've been having crickets on your Facebook page, if you've been really disappointed in your engagement, I want you to know that it's not too late. You can make changes today that will instantly make those numbers start going up. And at the end of the day, what I want you to realize is it's worth it. It is worth putting effort into building community on your social media platforms and really going deep into relationship there. And your engagement numbers will reflect that effort. I promise you. So thank you so much for listening, you guys. I just appreciate you so much. Make sure you find me over on Facebook. You can look for Jennifer Allwood. My Facebook page is verified, so you can find me easily by looking for the little blue check. And make sure you go check out the show notes where you can get that free report of the 60 ways or the 60 ideas I have for you on doing a Facebook Live later today. The show notes are over at jenniferallwood.com/podcast. Alrighty. So until next time, my friends, stay creative. Bye-bye. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I'm honored that you took the time to be here. If you could, we'd love it if you could run over to iTunes and leave us a review. And then make sure you find me on Facebook where all the fun is happening. Don't forget that we have show notes over at jenniferallwood.com. And until next time, I want you to stay creative. Bye-bye.